Wonderful. Good morning and welcome once again. I'm so glad to have you back. Um, we are this semester going to be looking at programming with C++, right? So after learning about the basics or the fundamentals of program design and all the nitty-gritties we need, the next step in our learning is to now bring this to an actual programming language and try and begin to write programming languages. In fact, today we have a lot of things to do. I would advise that if you have a laptop around or you have a mobile phone you're going to use for the learning, you get it close so that we can follow along. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to just introduce the course today, do the nitty-gritties, and then welcome you to the fundamentals of what we will be doing over the course of the weeks that will go by. Okay? Now, our course, of course, is the course code is CISC 112. And then the course title is Programming with C++. You get my details. All of this, of course, this document is in the LMS. So from here, I'll go straight to the LMS and show you how you can download the study guide from the LMS. Okay? Okay. So we know the academic year, and I think you guys are diploma level, undergraduate diploma level 100, right? So, yeah. And then our course. Okay, so the most important things, let me go to the description of the course. This, of course, is my details. Oh, I have to correct this one. Sorry about this. I have to correct that one. Uh, so, so what is this basically? What is this course about? Basically, what this course is about is to teach since we learned about structured programming design, we want to now implement programs using an actual, or implement structured programs using an actual programming language. And so that is what this course is all about. This course, we will try and solve programming problems by using actual programming language. And the language we are going to learn, along with its everyday things, is C++. I believe we have heard about C++, right? Most of us know or have heard about C++ at this point, right?
Yes, sir.
Someone is saying no. I know it's one of my friends. But everyone here has heard about C++ at some point in time. So we are going to now look at the data types, the syntax, the how to write operations, operators in C++, control flow, something called functions. We're going to look at structs, how to build structures on our own, arrays, multi-dimensional arrays, single-dimensional arrays, and all the nitty-gritty things that we need to know in order to master basic C++, okay? So we are going to use a problem-based approach. What it will mean is that one of the key things we will be doing is that I'll give you a project, and then you guys will go and work on this project in teams, okay? This class is a very small class, so you do teams of just, I think 2 people is okay. So teams of 2 people, just as we did in the previous class, okay? Now let's look at, so we'll be doing the video lectures like you are saying, and we'll do in person. I'm sure I'm yet to get the breakdown of the schedule, but we'll do in person as well. And then I'll share some reading materials with you on the LMS, and then you also can use some other resources as well. And then I'll show you how to install the C++ and all those things. We'll do some quizzes, and then we'll do the group project. Like you will go and build a project using the C++. Okay. So let me go all the way from the objectives to the content. Okay. So this is how our assessment is going to be like. Within the LMS, I'm going to have every week a series of multiple choice questions, okay, which is going to test what we call your formative assessment, okay, what you have learned about what that particular unit or that particular session was talking about. And that one will score you 20 marks. Okay, so please try and complete that. I noticed that a few of you could not complete that in the structured program design. Okay, but I'm encouraging you to do that in this course. Okay. Then in the next key thing you need to look out for is your group assignment. Okay, or what we will term as the term project. Okay, that one I will give it to you midway. Okay, and then you will go and work on it and return it by the end of the semester. Okay, by the end of the semester, like we did at our last face-to-face, I'll collect everything from you. And then that one is 20 marks. So please make sure you submit something. It's 20 marks. You and a team member work on that project and return a project, okay, a finished program. Then the written exams or the end of semester exams is 60 marks. So if you add the 20 plus 20, and then you get a plus 60, you get 100. Okay, so everything will be 100% or 100 marks. But each component is distributed as you see in the table over here. Are we okay? Are we okay? Everybody understands how we'll be graded, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
It's important so that you know that if you are not doing any of the things you need to pass the course, all right, don't ask, say, how do I pass the course? This is how to pass the course. To pass the course, you need to get the 20 from the individual assignments, get the 20 from the group assignment, and then get the 60 from the exams. Okay, in total, you get 100 and then you pass the course. Okay, now these are a few recommended readings you can use. Okay, I think I have the DS Malik. Okay, so I have the DS Malik C++ programming from problem analysis to program design. Okay, that one is I have a physical copy of the book. Okay, I mean, if I say I mean I have a physical copy of the book because it's sold. And so, but I'm sure you find lots of resources. These days, there are so many resources on how to program with different programming languages, especially C++, since it's been around for a very long time. And then another useful resource is the Smith, right? That's a complete reference, United States, McGraw-Hill, okay? So every week we will do 1 unit. And by the end of the 8th week, we'll do the 8 units that I have listed over here. Each of them, I have the objectives of what we're going to do and some activities that we're going to work on. Okay, for example, today we are working on the introduction to the course. And the goal is that I want to orient you about the course and show you or let you have information about all the nitty-gritty about the programming, the syntax, how to write C++ program, how to even install C++ on your machine, how to run it if you don't have an actual machine, but only have a phone. How do you run C++? So all of these things, I'm going to talk to you about them today so that by the end of the day, everybody can at least write a hello world application in C++ and run that application. Are we okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's very good. Okay, so feedback is important so that I know that you are still there and you've not turned on the call and gone to do something else. Okay, so let's go to the LMS and let me show you something. So I believe at this point, all of you have access to the LMS and you are here. I'm just going to open one of them. If you open the LMS, you can see my details here and my contact email, and then the course rep even has access to my phone number. Okay, so you have access to my phone number if you can send me a message or two, okay? Just make sure that, for example, if you send me a message, I don't think you send me a message at night, okay? That one, I may be trying to sleep or trying to do some personal stuff, okay? So perhaps maybe that's not the most convenient time to send me a message, okay? And then, like I said, you have the course study guide over here. I'm going to just correct the email and then repost it. So if you have not downloaded it yet, or if you have already even downloaded it, wait and give me a while to finish this class. When I'm done, I'll change or edit the email and resend and repost the course study guide. Okay. And then, of course, we have this introductions chat. Okay. This is a chat. So when you click on it, to initiate the chat activity, and then you can add a discussion. Okay, I think I have a few people who have already introduced themselves. Okay, so lots of people have introduced themselves in the course already. Oh, that's good. That's wonderful. Wow, 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 wow. Okay. Oh, oops, I'm at the wrong place. Oops, sorry. Let's get to the correct place. Okay, this is it. Okay. Yeah. This is a chat. Okay. 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 So you just enter the chat and then you can just, whatever message you send here comes to me directly. Okay. So if you want to send me a message, direct messaging, you can just click on that and then leave me a message. And when I come back to the LMS, I can respond to that message. Okay. Okay. Let's go back to the page. So if you look at the page, you notice that the page has been divided into units. Each unit represents just a week,
Hello,
right?
sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Sorry, please. We are not seeing your LMS dashboard.
Oh,
We see only the outline.
oh, really? Sorry. I think I have not changed the. Oh, sorry. Are you seeing the browser now?
Yes, sir.
Oh, thank you so much. Okay, thank you. You've done well.
Thank you,
Okay,
sir.
okay. So like I was saying, if you click on the, if you explore for, by now, I think most of you have used this thing for a while, so you know how this thing works. You just click on it to expand, and then you have access to the information you need down here. Okay. Now I was saying that. What was I saying? Okay, so I was saying that each week, if you look at it, each week you have a unit, and then we'll have the information about the unit, and then I'll add the course slide. I'll add a slide, and then I'll add the what do you call it? I'll add a discussion so that you guys can send me questions or can send each other questions. And then I'll also add the assessment. The assessment will be, because it's 20 and we have 8, the assessment will be like 5 each week. Okay? Are we good?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. Now, so now let's proceed to, please, every week when we are done, by latest by Monday, you should come here and come and check the material and check the assessment and come and check the other things, okay? So that you'll be done before the next weekend, okay? There could be some assignments as well under these ones. Please be mindful of that and keep looking through this. Okay, let me go to our lecture for today. What's the slide? Okay. Okay. Can you all see the slide?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now let's begin our lecture for today. Programming with C++. Today we're going to just do some introductions, learn about where or who invented or created C++, and then I'll show you how to get C++ installed on your machines, whether Windows, Mac, or Linux, and then we'll learn about, sorry about that. Then we'll learn about some fundamentals or some foundational syntax in C++, okay? So first and foremost, C++ is very nice, versatile, cross-platform programming language that you can use to build applications. If you remember when we're doing programming principle, structured program design, sorry, we said that programming languages, there can be 4 different types or classes of programming languages, right? We said that we can have low-level programming languages, including what? The machine language, which is the zeros and ones that the machine understands. We can have the assembly languages, which is the Munich code. Because we can't memorize the zeros and ones, we try to use English or simple symbols. Okay, and those symbols we call them Munich symbols. Okay, they represent the zeros and ones. So instead of memorizing the zeros and ones and typing zeros and ones, we'll rather type English sentences. Okay, and when we type these sentences, a program called the assembler translates these sentences into the zeros and ones. Okay, so those two, the assembly language and the machine language, are called low-level programming languages. Then, if you remember, we also stated that the high-level programming languages are languages which enable us to write programs on top of the low-level programming languages. Okay, so if you remember from our class in structured program design, we said that high-level programming languages include languages which are either compiled or interpreted. We have examples including Java, including Python, including JavaScript, including C++, including C. All of those languages that you can understand and write, they are mostly called high-level programming languages, if you remember, right? Well, then we learned about programming paradigms, and we said that the style or the way in which you write your program is what we call the programming paradigm. Okay, now C++ it's been around for a while. In fact, C++ came about as a result of modifications to C. There was a language called C, and at some point in time, we were only writing structured programs, okay, or what we call procedural programs. And they wanted to write programs which made use of a new concept we call classes. And so, Danish gentleman, Sturps, he built or he modified the C programming language to enable us use classes. And his modifications was first called C with modification or C with extension. Then later on, when it became popular and they started adding more features to it, they now renamed that new modification C++. Okay, so C++ is pretty much looking the same like C, but it just has a few more things that C does not have. For example, supporting or support for what? Object-oriented programming. Are we okay? Okay, so he developed or he designed this sometime in the 1980s. Okay, so let's acknowledge that he did or he made this programming language. Now, the reason why C++ gained widespread popularity was because C++ was or is platform independent. Okay, to a point. Okay, sorry, it's cross-platform. Sorry, it's cross-platform. When you say cross-platform, it means you can run it on Java. You need a different compiler, but you can run it on Linux. You need a different compiler, but you can also run it on what? A MacBook. Okay, so it's cross-platform. You can go across different platforms by writing one code. Okay, now C++ has a lot of features, and the reason for its popularity and success. One of these features or some of these features include what? You can control how the system works at the hardware level. Because C++ is very much in tune with controlling how the system works at the hardware level. Okay, C++ can do low-level program or low-level data handling. Okay, and C++ can even manipulate hardware directly from the code. Okay, so C++ is instrumental for building a lot of things. There are a few more features. For example, C supports object-oriented programming. If you remember from our earlier class, we said object-oriented programming is a type of programming paradigm where we build the program around items or concepts we call objects and classes. So we model the idea around an object or a class. C++ can also use certain data structures like pointers and references and structs to manage and control memory. Okay, so C++ is useful when you want to move things around memory directly from hardware perspective. Okay, things work much faster if you write them in C++. And then C++ also supports multiple paradigms. In fact, you will see that traditionally, if we are writing C++, we'll be writing structured programming or structured program design. But you can also rewrite the same program as an object-oriented program using the C++ compiler. Okay, and last but not the least is the performance. Due to the fact that C++ can manipulate memory directly, you can get things done faster than if you are using a programming language where things could be translated first into some other programming language before being translated into the resulting programming language. Okay, so it's the go-to standard language for lots of things. You can build games with them. You can build apps for virtual reality with C++. You can build simulation systems with C++. You can build Internet of Things solutions, okay, for routers, for smart speakers, for smart cameras, for smart cars, smart gates, all those things. You can build those things with C++. Also, you can build browsers, operating system. The Windows you are using has parts of it built using C++. Are we good? Hello, am I still online?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I might have gone off in a bit. Sorry. Okay. So all of these applications are run and built with C++. Okay. And so you'll be joining by learning C++, you'll be joining a family of many developers who know and can write in C++. Okay. Now, how do we install C++? Okay, you ask yourself, okay, how do we install C++? Now, there are two ways. It's either you run C++ directly from online, okay, or you install it on your computer and then you use it on your computer. So, for example, if I only have a phone, okay, if I only have a phone and I don't have a laptop, I can't install C++ on the phone. Okay, so I will need to run C++ online from the browser. Okay, if we say running C++ online means that you are running it from the browser. So once you have a browser, Opera Mini, Safari, Edge, Google Chrome, Firefox, whatever browser you have, once you have a browser on the device, you can run C++, and you have internet, you can run C++ from that device. Okay, and then also some people prefer to install it on their machines. Okay. On most of the MacBooks, for example, C++ is already installed. So all you need is a text editor to now use the C++ installation. Let's proceed. Okay. Now, if I want to run C++ from online, how do I do it? Okay. Now, running C++, like I said, from online means that you are not installing it. Maybe you are at work and you only have your phone and you want to practice C++. You can buy some internet data and then go to any of these websites. Okay, so these websites are places where you can run C++ from the browser. Okay, so Programize or online GDB or C++ Shell or W3 Schools or JDoodle, all of these are places that you can run or write C++ and execute it from the browser. Are we okay?
Yes,
Yes, sir.
Okay. So that's wonderful. Let me open one of them for us to see. So let me go back to the browser with your permission. Okay. So everybody can see the browser, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So all you need to do is open Google. Okay. You can click on the link I have in the slide, but if you don't have the slide to be clicking on the link, all you have to do is just to type C++ online compiler or compilers. Okay. Then you see that I've been opening this one, right? This one is very good. In fact, I really like the first one, programize.com. Okay. So I've been using it a lot, okay, for teaching. Okay. So, but there, you see that there are other ones too as well. Okay. So please take note of that. You can click on this. When you click on it, I'll show you how it looks like. So this is C++ online compiler. Okay. So you can see that this is the name of the file you are working on in the browser. This is the code in the file. You see the thing I have selected. This is the code. And then there are lines here to show you what each line, to help you to identify each line. Okay. Then if you look at the top corner of the right pane, of the left pane, you can see a blue button with the word run. Okay, so once you click on that, you give it a while, depending on your internet connectivity, you will see the output. You see output over here on the left. You see that the output is saying start small dot ship something. Do you see that?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's very wonderful. So you can run this. In fact, you can try this on your phone. It will work. On your phone, it will work on your tablet. It will work inside your laptop browser. Remember, you have to do this inside a browser. Okay, so please take note of that. So this is just one of the many options for running C++. Okay, inside or online. Okay. Now, if you don't want to get C++ online because you have a laptop or you have a desktop at home and you can install an application, you now install C++ on your computer. So how do we install C++ on our computer? Number one, we need something called a text editor. Okay, an example is VS Code. Okay, Another example is Notepad++. Do you remember that there's an app called Notepad++?
Yep.
Okay, that's wonderful. Okay, so there's an app called Notepad++. If you go to the browser and you type Notepad++, you can download it. Or if you go to the browser and you type MS VS Code, okay, you can download this version of Microsoft Visual Studio, okay, code. And then you need a second thing, which is the C++ compiler specially developed for Windows. It's called MainWim, MainW, okay? It's called MainW. So this is a special C++ compiler written for Windows, okay? It's very easy to install. So I've left the links in the slide for you to check it out yourself. So you simply download and install the VS Code. Then you go to the main website and then download the MainW compiler. Then you run the installer for the compiler. Then once you are done running and agreeing to everything, you agree to all the major things. The next key thing to do now is to add the compiler to your system path. I'm not on a Windows, else I would have shown you how to do that. But you can consult this video. There's a video link I have left here on YouTube. Okay, there's a video link on YouTube I have left here. You can go there and find out for yourself how to set the environment path. How to set the environment path. So once you have done with that setting of the environment path, you now go ahead and install an extension. Okay, I'll show you how VS Code looks like. Okay, you go ahead and now install an extension. Let me show you how VS Code looks like. Okay. Everybody can see my VS Code, right?
Not yet.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
You can see it.
Okay. Thank you. So, so those of you who would want to use VS Code, if you're on Windows, you install this application. It's called VS Code. Okay. Then once you finish installing it, after installing the C++ compiler as well, you will go ahead and now click on this. You see this box, this 4 boxes thing. When you click on it, it's called extensions. Okay, so you click on it. When you click on it, you now need to install the extensions for C++. Yes, course rep.
Please, I don't know if you are sharing your screen because I couldn't see your screen. Yes.
Oh, someone said
Yeah.
they see my screen. Oh, I don't know. Who's not seeing my
we
screen?
can't see you. We can't see your screen. It's your picture, video.
Yeah, we can see.
I can see your
Yes.
screen. I can see your screen.
But I can see the screen, please.
Oh, why are some people seeing and some people not seeing? Is there a problem? Oh, since some people are seeing it, can you try and how do I put it? The people who are not seeing it, try and disconnect and reconnect and see. Okay.
So I think
maybe about 2 minutes. Yes.
I think the issue is you are using 2 accounts. One is with the meeting and one is with your name. So they should go with the one with your name, Bernard Buckman screen. That one will give them the one with your computer screen. The one with the meeting comes with only your name in your video. So you should try that one. Thank you, sir.
Those who are watching on the phone, right?
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, sir, please, I can see both your picture and your screen. So I don't know what my brother is talking about.
Oh, this is the first time I'm hearing this issue. I'm even lost. Hold on. Can you see my screen? That's the most important. So I've turned off the video so you can focus on the screen. Can you see the screen?
Yes, sir, please, I can see.
Okay. Mr. Sam, the course rep, can you see the screen?
Yeah, I can see now.
Okay. You can see the VS Code with my cursor, my cursor on it. Okay. Mr. Paul, your hand was up. What's the problem? Hello?
It's a mistake.
Mistake. Okay. So can we proceed?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, like I was saying earlier, those of you on the Windows, okay, I'm showing you lots of options. Okay, you don't have to do this same. There's another one I'm going to show you. Okay, so don't have to do this exact same thing. But like I said earlier, you need a text editor, okay, and you need the compiler, okay. So you can just come and download VS Code text editor, okay. Then you can go and download the compiler. Let me show you let me just share my desktop, okay. Let me just share my desktop. So everybody can see my desktop now, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. So let me go to this one, okay? Okay, and where's that? Okay. So all you need to do is to go here and look for Ming W compiler, okay? That's why I'm saying the Windows people, okay? Ming W stands for minimalistic GNU for Windows, okay? So this one, okay? So this is for the Windows people only. If you want to run your C++ inside your VS Code, okay? So you come and download the Ming W what do you call it, compiler from here. You just click download, it will download. I'm not running Windows, so I don't have any reason to download this one. Okay. Then you go to the VS Code website. Okay. So let me show you that one too. So this one, you just type VS Code. Okay. Then you go to their website. Okay. So you can see the VS Code website as well, right? Hello?
Yes, sir. We can see.
We can see. Okay, that's good. I want to make sure you can see so that nobody will be left out. Okay, so you go to the VS Code website as well. And don't worry, it says download for Mac OS, okay, because it's detecting my laptop and selecting the Mac OS by default. If you enter this website with your Windows laptop, it will not read download for Mac, but instead it will read download for Windows. If in case you just want to download it, but you have a different operating, so you just click other platforms, okay? When you click this, you get here and then you see Windows over here. You see the Linux, because Linux has different ways of installing things. They have different Linux distributions, okay? Then the one with the CLI is command line, okay? Command line. So that one, when you click on it, it will show you the instructions for installing using the command line, okay? Then if you're on a Mac, you click on this one. If you use the Mac OS version 12.0 and upwards, right? On the Mac too, we have different chipsets. We have the Apple chips, the M chips, and then we have the Intel chips, and then we have the old legacy ARM chips. Okay, so I don't think those ones are available over here, but those ones too are there. So you can click on this one and download and install. So you see, it's very easy. Once you install these two important things, and you have installed once you install this very important, but listen, this one is very important. Without this one, your C++ will not work. So you need to download this one and install first. Once you finish installing, you create the system path. Okay, you add the path to your C++. I wish I could show you that one, but I'm not running Windows, so I can't show you how to do that one. But you can just Google it, how to create a system path, okay, or how to create a path for an application, okay. So once you finish doing that, you will launch the app. So this is the app, okay. This is Visual Studio Code. Okay, let me expand this one so you can see this, and then let me close this side. Okay, so let me close the side. So once you get to the app, you click on extensions. Okay, you go to extensions. This is the box for extensions. So you click on extensions. Then you come and type inside the search box. You come and type C++. You just type C++. You see that you get a list of all the most important extensions, okay? Now, let me tell you the one you have to install before you can run C++. So you notice that when you type C++, the first one, this first one, .run, is very important. Without it, you can't run C++, okay? So inside the VS Code, so you need to install it, okay? So you click on it, and then when you click on it, you see an install button down here. You click install. It will install inside the VS Code. Then another one which is important is this one. It's called C/C++ Dev Tools. So this one too, you add it, okay? Then another one which is important is for Microsoft, because you are using a Microsoft product. So you need Microsoft version of C++, okay? So you click on this one and then you click install. Once you install this one, it will install some other extensions. So you see that, in fact, once you install that one, it will install some other ones too as well. So the most important ones I'll tell you to install for the C++ is this one, the Code Runner, right? It's called Code Runner, and then the C/C++ Microsoft version. Once you install these two things, you should be able to run C++ on your computer. Are we okay? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Please, can you go over again, please?
Oh, my dear friend. Okay, let me go over again, my dear friend. So, as I was saying, you need two important things if you want to run C++ on your computer. You need a text editor, and then you need the compiler for C++. Okay? Now, for the text editor, I suggest you get VS Code, but it's not by force. You can get any text editor which will work. Okay, that's fine. But if you want to install VS Code, then how do you install VS Code? You go to their website. Okay, so this is their website. Then you click on the downloads button. So you come here. Then you choose the particular version that you want. Okay, so if you are using Windows, you click on Windows. If you are using Linux, you click on any of the correct Linux. Okay, if you are using Mac, you click on Mac. For the Mac, there are two versions, the Intel versions and then the Apple version. Okay? Are you clear with that one? I will not repeat this one again, please.
Yes, sir.
Are you clear with that one?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Okay. Then, like I said, another important thing you need is the compiler. So you go you search for min GW, okay, or min W. Min W stands for minimalist GNU for Windows. So this one is a package of softwares which will help you run your Windows. Help you run C++ on your Windows. Okay, so when you click on download, it will download, take its time and download. When it's done, you double click, it will expand and then it will start installing. You have to agree to the terms and conditions. Once you agree to all the important things, it will install successfully and close. When it closes, you will now add the path to this software to your system path. Okay. So that one, when you go to YouTube, it will show you they'll show you how to add that one. I've put in here a tutorial. You see this one? It's a YouTube tutorial on how to do the thing I'm talking about. Okay. Then when you are done, you go to the how do you call it? You go to the Visual Studio Code and then open Visual Studio, okay? Right, you go to Visual Studio and open Visual Studio, right? When you open, it looks something like this, okay? You scroll down to this right hand. Oh, madam, kindly mute your microphone, okay?
Oh, too quiet.
Madam, mute your microphone. Madam, have you muted your microphone?
Yes, she has.
Okay, thank you very much, madam. Okay, so when you open Visual Studio Code that you have installed, you look at the left hand side. You see this thing. They are called. It's a tab pane. Okay, there are menus for different things. So this is a file menu. This is a search. This is what do you call it? Version control. This is debug and run tool. This is the extensions. So you click on extensions. Then you come and search for C++. Now, when the list of extensions appears, make sure that you install this first one. It's called Code Runner. It's very important. Without it, you can't run your code. Okay? Then, second most important thing is this one, C++ or C/C++. The Microsoft, make sure that the Microsoft is here. Make sure the Microsoft is here. Okay. So when this one too, you see install, it will be blue. So when you click on it to install on inside your, how do you call it? Inside your VS Code. So once you are done with that one, the last thing you have to do is to check whether C++ is installed. Okay. So on the Mac, okay, on your Windows, you use sorry, I forgot I was teaching the Windows. So on your Windows, you will use your command line, okay, and you search for, and you type G++ less than version. Okay, once you do that, it will return some information. When it returns the information, it will tell you whether your C++ is properly installed or not installed at all. Okay, so that's how to know. You can also directly check it for me. In fact, I've configured this one so that I can check things from here. So I can also check it from here. But I want to reserve that when I'm showing you, then I show you on the Mac. Okay. Okay. Now, if you want to install C++ on the Mac, that one too is very easy because C++ is already, the compiler is already on your Mac. Okay, so you don't need to suffer much. In fact, you don't need to suffer much. So all you do for the Mac is that you install your VS Code, okay? Because C++, the compiler that is on your Mac is called Clang. So because Clang is installed, After installing the VS Code, you just need to install the extensions for the VS Code. The once that is done, you are good to go. Okay, so I'll show you how to know that everything is working correctly. Okay, so if you open the terminal, so that's the terminal inside the VS Code. Okay, everybody can see what has happened, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so G++, I think this one should return something. So you can see that when I typed the command, I got the name of the compiler. Look at the name of the compiler. It's called Clang version 16.0.0, right? Clang 1600. Okay, so this is how to check whether you guys are running the correct thing inside VS Code. It's very easy. Okay. Any questions? So these are two ways to use C++. Now, if you are like me and you find it difficult following instructions, don't worry. It is easy. There's another easier way than even following these two instructions. The next easy way is to use something called an integrated development environment, IDE. IDE means that the extensions, the text editor, and everything you need for the C++ has been put together into one program for you to use. So I've put over here some links to various programs you can use. Okay? The popular ones include what? Visual Studio, Microsoft Visual Studio. Okay? Please note that this one is different from Microsoft VS Code. VS Code is a text editor. Okay? That one is different. Then this one is called Microsoft Visual Studio. This one is about 6 gig. Okay, it's very big. Okay, so please take note of that. It comes with everything you need. Okay, then there's a smaller and a cheaper and easier one too. It's called Code Blocks. So this one too is very popular. In fact, I would advise that those of you who are struggling to install and you don't know what to do and those things, simple, install Code Blocks. Everything solves. Okay, you can find it over here. Just click on this link. It will go to the website, you download it, you install it, and you are done. Another one too is there. It's called Dev C++. This one is only built for C++. So you can also install this one. Okay? Then if you are a fan of IntelliJ, okay, you can install one of their IDEs. One of their IDEs is called C Lion, okay? JetBrains is developed by JetBrains, so it's called C Lion. Okay, this one too is also good. You can also install this one. Okay, all these four are very good. You can install any of them and run C++ without downloading this, downloading that, and all of those other things. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes,
I
sir.
hope by next week, everybody has C++ running. Okay, on either their machine or on their phone. Okay. Like I said,
Yes,
if you don't have a machine, you can still run C++ from the browser. Okay? So please take note of that. You can still run C++ from the browser. You don't need a machine by force. Okay? So you can use your phone and run C++ from the browser.
Hello, sir.
Yes, sir.
Hello, sir. Good morning, please. My name is Joshua Chikata. Please,
Okay,
yes, please. I just joined not too long ago, but talking about the machine Please, can you give an example of the spec or type of machine that can run this type of app, please?
Spec?
Yes, please. A type of, maybe, can it be installed on
laptop? Any laptop.
Any laptop.
Spec.
Whether it's the aspect, the memory is low, 2 gig RAM or 4 gig RAM.
This is a programming language. It doesn't require any minimum thing. Okay. Once your machine can work, once your machine works, it will install. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
No problem. Okay. So once you have finished the installation, now we are done with the basics. So we are now going to look at the fundamentals of C++ programming. Are we okay? So next step in our lecture is to now learn the basic elements of C++. So if we pick up a C++ file right now and look at C++ program, what do we see? Okay, so I have a simple example of a C++ program. You can see I have I even added spaces. So it's supposed to be about 6 lines. Okay, just 6 lines. I will explain what each of the things in the 6 lines does or means. If at any point you don't understand anything, you draw my attention, okay? So let's say we open a C++ file. When you open a C++ file, you will see something like this. You will see line 1, line 2, line 4, line 6, line 8, and line 9. What do they mean? Let's start with line 1. So line 1 is an example of what we call a preprocessor directive. Preprocessor directives are header files. Okay, what it means is that in order to run C++, you need some code or some beginning code, some libraries, some things to work so that you can program in C++. Okay? And what that first line does is that first line enables us to do that basic programming or basic coding. Okay? Now, the first thing over there is the hash. Okay? So whenever C++ sees the hash, it tells C++ that we are looking at a preprocessor header directory, or yes, preprocessor file, or what we call a header directory. Okay? So the next thing we are expecting is the keyword include. So include will tell the compiler to go and bring something. Include. What are we including? We are including the input-output stream library. Because we see it's a very long word, we don't want to write all of that long word. We write IO stream. So the IO stream is also one word, no spaces. You can see one word, no spaces. And even before that, you put that thing inside less than and greater than. You see, before you write the I, you put less than, and after you write the M, you put greater than. So this line is very important. It tells the compiler that before you run this code, I need you to go and bring this library, so that there are some things I'll be doing that require information from this library. Okay? For now, we will have only one of them. Okay? Always you see me use include IOStream, include IOStream. At some point in our learning, we will now add include CMAS, include input-output manip, include different things. We will include different things as we go along. Are we okay? The reason why we can print to the screen, collect from the keyboard, do input and output is because of this IO stream. So make sure that every time you write our C++ programs, we have the hash include less than IO stream greater than. That is always one line. Make sure nothing comes after it and everything else comes under it. Okay? Then line 2 is the first C++ code or line. Okay? So line 2 says using namespace std. Okay? So line 2 declares what we call the namespace. It handles the names of things in the C++ program, because we'll be naming things in C++. Okay? So we need an instruction that tells C++ that we will be naming things. And that is what line 2 does. And then the next important thing over there is the STD. STD stands for standard library. Okay? So we are naming things in the standard library file that we are using. Okay? Then line 3, okay? Line 3 is just an empty space, or what we call a blank line. So as a programmer, you can add blank lines to your code to make your code more readable. Don't you see that when I put the space in there, it is more readable? It's nicer to have the space in there. It makes it easy to read what we are running. If I had everything written on one line, it would have been difficult to read what we were seeing. But we can read it because of the empty spaces, or what we call the blank spaces. Blank spaces or white spaces are disregarded or discarded by C++. Are we okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, line 4 is called the main function. Okay. So in C++, we organize the code like we are writing functional programs, but it's not entirely functional. Okay. So in order to create the main function, we have to always write int main and follow the main by the two parentheses, open parentheses and closing parentheses, what we call brackets. Okay. So you see open bracket, close bracket, just after the end of the main. Okay. So int main, open bracket, close bracket. Okay. Then in C++, we write our code inside the two curly brackets. Just after the bracket, look, there's another bracket. That bracket is called curly brackets. Okay? That is where we write our code. We write our code inside. You have to write one before, and then after writing your code, you write it one after. You open and then you close. So if you look at line 9 is the closing of the curly bracket on line 4. Do you guys see that?
Yes, sir.
Yes. And we are currently writing or running the main function. Okay, the main function. Okay? Okay. Now, let's look at line 5. Okay. Oh, sorry. It's supposed to be line 6. Line 6. Okay. Let's look at line 6. If you look at line 6, you can see that we have something strange over there. We see C and we see O and we see U and we see T. It's not an English word, but you can see that you can pronounce it if you try to pronounce it. If you try to pronounce it, it will sound like see out. See out. So you can see C and you see out. So see out. So in C++, this is how we tell the computer to print something. See out is coming from line 1. You see, I told you that we are doing input and output. Everything we need for input and output inside the IO stream is in our program. Okay, so in order to do see out, we have to include IO stream. Okay, So C out, then you see less than, then we see quote, double quote, hello world, okay? Hello world. Then quote or double quote, and then you see semicolon. So line 6, you can see that the statement C out and everything in it ends in a semicolon. Ends in a semicolon. Okay, so please take note of that. C++ statements or C out is a statement or a keyword in C++ which tells the computer to print something to the screen. What are we printing? We are printing everything inside the quotes, the double quotes. Okay. As soon as we use double quotes in C++, we are referring to a string, okay, or string data. I think everybody here understands what we mean by a string, okay, because I taught you the structured program design and we talked about data types, okay? So as you can see, this is what is being printed, hello world, okay? And like I said afterwards, everything or every line in C++ ends in a semicolon, okay? Then line 8 is, now let me mention, okay, I already put it here, C++ is case sensitive. So if instead of writing lowercase c and then lowercase o and lowercase u and lowercase t, and I decided to write capital C, that capital C, the mere fact that I write capital C, but it is still reading C out, does not mean the lowercase C out and the uppercase C out are the same. They are not the same. They are two different things. Okay? So please be very careful when you are writing C++. C++ is case sensitive. The commands we write in C++ are mostly lower case. So make sure that your code is lower case for the commands, okay? Then let's look at the next thing. The next important thing is line 8. Line 8 is called a return statement, okay? Later on when we discuss functions, I will talk more about what this return means. But for now, just see it as being part of your C++ program. Inside the function main, you have to always return 0. Okay, we return 0 because 0 is an integer and the function is also an integer function, okay? Now, if we want to write a C++ program, the general template for writing C++ programs will look something like this. So for now, we've learned that for every C++ program we have to write, we have to include IO stream. So please take note of that. We have to write using namespace std, semicolon. Please don't forget the semicolon at the end. It's very important, okay? Then we have to write int main, bracket open, bracket close, and then curly brackets, okay? Then inside that place, you write your code. You write your code in there. Then you write return 0, semicolon. Then you close everything with what? Closing parenthesis. Or curly, or the curly bracket that closes. Okay. Any questions so far? Hello? Yes, am I clear or have I lost all of you or what's the reason? Are we lost?
Okay, sir, please, can I ask a question?
Oh, ask your question, ask.
Yes, yes, during your presentation, you stated that the hash include less than IO stream greater than should be the first thing you write when you are doing C++.
Yes.
During our last semester's introduction, we learned about initialization. Can I say that the first line in the programming, my C++ programming, can be seen as the initialization?
Okay. So we learned in our last course, we were doing structured program design. Remember, we're not learning C++. Remember that. We're not learning C++. We were learning structured, the basics of designing programs. Okay? And we're not learning any particular programming language. We're just doing general programming. Okay? But C++ is the programming language we are learning now. And C++, as well as every programming language, has its own rules. Okay? So in order to write C++ program, even if you are not doing anything in the program, you have to write all of these things by force.
Okay, sir.
So this is what I'm trying to tell you, that this is the rule. Programming is about following the rules. And this is the rules of this programming language. Writing in Java is also different. Writing in Python is also different. Writing in another programming language is also different. But with C++ that we are learning now, this is how to set up your program. Before you now do the initialization, the input, the processing, and out. So before you even do any of those things, you have to do all of this. This is not part of what we learned last semester.
Oh, okay.
Because we were not learning C++ last semester.
Okay, sir. I get you, sir.
Thank you very much. Okay, so this is like the template. So what you are seeing over here is a template for what you need, the basic things you need to remember every time you're writing C++, before you even now put your code inside the program. Mr. Jeffrey, you're saying?
Hello, sir.
Yes, hello.
Good morning, sir.
Can you please be quick about the question?
Okay. Is it when you give space to the coding, will it is it that it won't run?
Oh no, I have not said that. I said spacing helps you to read.
Okay. So sir, the paragraph at the C out and the return, is it mandatory to bring that paragraph?
Hey, hold on. Which place has the paragraph?
I mean the space at
which
the
line? Which line?
C out.
Can you see the screen?
Yes, line 6 and 8. Line 6 and line 8.
There's a space?
Yes.
Where?
Like a paragraph.
Oh, it's an indentation, not a paragraph. Come on.
All right.
You know, an indentation, it doesn't matter. C++ ignores all of those things.
Okay.
Are you okay?
Sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, the compiler does not read spaces. It removes this. You see, you are the only person who needs the space to read it. The compiler does not need the space because it's a machine. So it will remove all of the spaces and leave only the code. When you click on compile, all the spaces will be removed and only the code will be left.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so I have someone called FMK.
Hello, sir.
Yes, sir.
Good morning.
Yes. So with what Mr. Jeffrey was asking, is the indentation necessary?
Oh, it will help. It will help. As we begin to write, you see that indentation helps you to know blocks. Okay, it's important. Okay, but it is not necessary. It's not needed every time, but it is important.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. There's another person. I think that's Holy Amenuve.
Good morning, sir.
Morning.
Morning, sir.
I want to ask the hello world, the exclamation sign over there, is it necessary?
Oh, no.
Okay.
Not at all, not at all.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Okay.
Okay, sir. I have a question.
Okay, is your hand up? Who's that?
Sir, please, I see that you said the C out is for printout. And I want to say,
Yes.
in case I want to take input from a user, what should I use? And
Oh,
also,
we have not gotten there yet. I'm now introducing everything to you one by one. Calm down. Calm down.
okay. And also, in case the line 2, if I don't bring the line 2, would my code run or?
Oh, yeah. There's an alternative. I'll show you right now. It's under it's down there in the slide.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Nathaniel Norte.
Yes, sir. Please, the printout, LO route, it can be changed into anything per the programmer's discretion.
Yes. You can change it into everything. I'll do an example right now for you to see.
All right.
Yes. I think we've answered most of your questions. So let's go. Let me just use an example with the. Okay. Let me just use an example with the. How do you call it? With the VS Code, and then I'll use an example with the compiler, and then with the online compiler, and then I'll show you. Okay. Okay. So let's name this one CPP. Okay, so in order to create a C++ file, you just have to have one word as a name. Please make sure that the name is one word, and then you do .cpp. Okay, so it is maybe, for example, try.cpp or example1.cpp. Notice that there's no space. Example1, there's no space between example and the word and the number 1. Example 1 as one word .cpp. As soon as you leave spaces in the name, it will not work. Okay, I'm just letting you know. Okay. So let me close this guy. Let me close this. So everybody can see the screen, right?
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir. We can see, sir.
Okay, so remember the first one, we need to do #include. Then remember, we have to do less than IO stream greater than. Okay? Then remember, we said that you should write using namespace std semicolon. Okay?
Okay.
Everybody remembers this one?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Remember, if you just write this remember, if you keep writing these ones without writing everything I said, and you try to run, it will not run. Okay. So for example, over here, if I try to run the code, it will give me an error because I'm not done with the code. Okay. You have to make sure. Yes. Somebody interrupting?
No, sir.
Okay, you have to make sure that the basic thing is there. And the basic thing is that you need all of those other ones. So you need the int main, then the semicolon, then you need return 0. So this is the basic thing. Okay, once you have this one and you try to run it, it will now run successfully without doing anything sensible. Okay, so you can see over here, it's not doing anything reasonable. Okay, nothing is showing because you are not doing anything. Okay, let me increase the size so you guys can see. Everybody can see, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you can see that I have the line 1 include IOStream. I have line 2 using namespace std semicolon. I have line 3 int main and then bracket open bracket close curly bracket open. Line 4 return 0 semicolon. Line 5 curly bracket close. Okay, but when I run it, it is compiling correctly, but nothing is happening. Now, if I want something to show, I have to do cout. Then less than. Then maybe if I do for a start, let's do hello world. So let's do hello world. Okay, because every programming class we do hello world. Okay. Okay. Then let's do semicolon like this. Okay. Okay. So make sure that line 4 cout less than hello. Okay, let me remove the semi. Hello world, and then quotes, and then semicolon. Okay. Once you save that and I run that code, now notice something happening down there. Please, C++ is a compiled programming language. So every time you make any changes, it will take the same amount of time to compile. Okay, so it will take a while. It will not just give you the answer. It will take a while before giving you the answer. I just want you to know. So look down here. Notice that down here, okay, down here, look down here. Notice that down here, it is printing the hello world. Do you see that?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Down here, it's printing the hello world down here. Okay. Now, if I change the hello world and I say hello Bernard, okay, like let me save that and rerun that again. Okay. Now it will now print. You can see hello Bernard. Do you see that?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So you don't necessarily have to put the exclamation. The gentleman who was asking me about the exclamation, and those things are just me trying to print something. Okay. So you can print anything at all. Anything at all. Okay. So this is, yes, Mr. Evans. Anane.
Sir, please, good morning.
Morning.
Sir, please, whatever that is being added to the hello Bernard will be printed out, yes or no?
I don't understand. You said what?
Whatever that is being added to the hello Bernard, assume you add hello Bernard 1, 2, 3, without a space, it will be printed out exactly right.
Okay, let me do what you are saying. So you said I should write hello Bernard 1.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, or you add the exclamation sign.
Oh, everything will be printed. So, but I want you to convince yourself that it will be printed. So look, is this what you want?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so when I run it, see for yourself. Down here. Pardon? So see for yourself.
Yes, please. I was trying to make the other guy understand that when you print it out to the exclamation sign, it will be printed.
There's somebody's making noise in the thing. I don't get you very well. Those of you with the microphones, kindly turn it off so I can hear Mr. Evans. Mr. Evans, you are trying to do what?
Sir, please, the guy that was asking about the exclamation sign, so I was trying to let you run it so that you see that whatever that is being added, even if it's a number.
Oh, yes. So whatever you add will print. It doesn't really matter about whether you add exclamation or not. It will still print. Once you write correct code, it will run. Okay? Then let me show those of us who are using the browser. Okay, if you are using the browser on your phone, even as we are learning right now, you can go to your browser and then go to programmize.com. Okay, and then go to C++ online compiler. Okay, you see something like this. Okay, online compiler. Let me see if I can. I don't think I can increase the size. Can I? Yikes. I don't think it works. Okay. But can everybody see it?
Sir.
Yes?
Yes, sir.
You can see. Okay. I thought you were asking a question. Okay. So let's add the using name. So here you can use your phone. Use your phone to try and run something. Okay. So you can use your phone to type something inside the compiler. Okay. So let's see out testing in the browser. Okay. Okay. Full stop. Then make sure every line ends in semicolon. Okay. Make sure your C++ statement ends in semicolon. Okay. So once you do that and you press the run, depending on your internet, it will take a while and print. You see the answer? Hello?
Yes, sir, we can see.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So you can try this in your browser on your phone. Whether you have a phone or you don't have a laptop or not, you can use this. This one doesn't require any installation. Everything runs directly online. So you don't need to install anything first. Just go to programize.com and then you look for the online C++ compiler, and then just write your code and run it. That's all. Okay, let's go back to yes, Mr. Daniel.
Sir, I wanted to ask, the programmer, is it just limited to C++ language?
Oh, no. All of these things are programming compilers. You can see the side. So Python. This is Python. This is online Python compiler. This is R. This is databases, SQL. This is HTML and CSS. This is Java. That's Kotlin. That's C. This is C++. This is C#, JavaScript. That's TypeScript. This is Go. This is Rust. In fact, there are so many of them. That's Ruby on Rails, and that's that. Okay?
Appreciate it.
Yes. Mr. Evans. Mr. Evans, very quickly. We have just 30 minutes to go. Okay.
Yes, sorry, it was from earlier.
Yes. Okay. Mr. Evans doesn't have any questions, so let's go on. So as I was saying, now a gentleman asked a very important question. That do we always need to bring the using namespace std semicolon? No, you don't. In fact, if you saw earlier, when we went to the online compiler, it didn't have the using namespace. But you saw something looking like this, std : C out. In fact, if you don't bring the using namespace std semicolon, you have to always bring std : C out in front of every, std : in front of every keyword from the standard library. Okay, so that's something you should remember. If you don't bring the using namespace std, then you have to bring this std : in front of all of the standard library keywords. Okay, so we have C out, we have C in, we have the for, we have so many of them. Okay, so please remember that we call this operator the scope resolution operator. Okay, so please know that it will work. Okay, let me show you. Those of you who do not know. Okay, so if we remove this one, then we have to write std : right? So once we do this one and we run it, it will still work. Okay, you see it's working?
Yes, sir.
Even without the using namespace, okay? Because we have to bring std : in front of the C out. Okay. Now let's go back. So in our class in structured program design, we learned about comments. We said that comments are notes or pieces of instructions that the programmer, you write for yourself, okay? So you can also write comments, okay, in C++. In C++, there are two kinds of comments. We have single line comments and multi-line comments. Most of us already know the reasons why we write comments, right? So let's proceed. Now, to write a single line comment in C++, you use the double slash or double backslash, okay? So you do slash slash and then you write the line, slash slash, you write the line, slash slash. So because it's single line, every time you have a comment on another line, you have to proceed the comment with slashes, 2 slashes, okay? Now, you can also write a comment after a piece of code. So for example, I have a code saying int a, semicolon. Then I want to write something about this int a. I can just write slash slash and then write what that line is doing after it. But remember, the moment you put this slash slash in front of the line, the whole line has become a comment. You don't want to do that. Okay? So please take note of that one as well. Are we okay? Comments is very easy, okay? Then, if you want to write, if your comments are plenty, you know, some of us can write plenty. If your comments are plenty so that they are more than one line, and you don't want to write slash slash in front of every line, you can do what we call multi-line comments. For a multi-line comment, you start with the slash, you add the star, you write what you want to write. After you are done with everything you want to write, you write the star again, and then you close it with what? The slash. So an example will look something like this. This is an example of a multi-line comment. Here there are 2 lines. We don't want to put slash slash in front of each of the lines, but we want to just do one long sentence. So we did slash star, and then we wrote our comments which spanned the multiple lines. When it was done, we wrote the star, and then we wrote the slash after the star. Then you see, just under it, you can see your code. So notice that your code is not a comment, but the sentence up here is the comment. Are we okay?
Awesome.
Okay. So C++ also has special symbols. It's a programming language. It's just like a big calculator. So we have some symbols that C++ uses for performing calculations and different things, okay? So for example, in C++, we have the plus or addition. Addition is the plus sign, okay? So the plus sign is in C++. The less than sign is in C++. The star is for multiplication, okay? So this star is for multiplication. The division in C++, we cannot do this, okay? In programming, in fact, in most programming languages, we cannot do this. This is not allowed, okay? This one is not allowed. So we do this one instead, okay? So we use this instead of this, okay? Then we have the modulus operator. We have the dot operator. We have semicolon. We use semicolon to end every line. Then we have the comma. We have the scope, the question mark for the ternary operator. We have the less than sign. We have the greater than sign. We have the equal to sign for assignment operation. We have the less than or equal to. In C++, look on your keyboard. You notice that on your keyboard, there's no keyboard character like this. But if you want to go and if you want to produce or equal to, how do you get less than or equal to? You have to use this one, okay? Then notice that also on your keyboard, there's no greater than or equal to. So you have to use this one, okay? Then on your keyboard, because equal to is already taken, okay? We use the equal to for comparing two things. If you want to compare whether two things are the same, You don't use equal to. Instead, you use this equal to operator. It's for comparison. Okay? Then if you want to say that something is not the same as the other, you use the exclamation symbol. So these are special symbols in C++. We use them for the programming. Okay? Then we already know what keyword is. If we say a keyword, we are talking about a word which is used by the compiler or the programming language. Okay, C++ has several of these words used by the compiler. So you should take your time. You don't have to memorize them, okay? But the few that we use, you should take your time and learn them so that you can know that these ones are words used by the compiler. All the words are lowercase. Make sure that if you are trying to do something and you want to type a keyword, you not type it in capital letters and tell me that, say, the code is not running. The code will not run if you type the keywords in capital letters. The keywords are all in lowercase letters. Okay, so please take note of that. These are just this is just a sample of the keywords. There are many. There are more than this. Okay. So basically, if you want to print or see any output in C++, we use the cout operator or the cout object. So what you have to do is to write cout and follow cout immediately with the less than. Then you do the quotes and then you bring your word and then you close it with semicolon. So this is how to do output in C++. If you change it, it will not work. So let me show you an example. If I try to change this, let me see. I love programming in C++. Okay, let's just say we, so that you are all part. Okay. If we remove the less than, we try to run it, we'll get an error. You see the error? Everybody sees the error?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So you get an error if you try to do anything than the rule. The rule says make sure that the less than is there. If you take it away from there, nothing will work. So if you run it, you see that everything works perfectly.
Yes.
Now, if you also decide that, oh, as for me, I'll not bring the semicolon because I'm a gangster, and then you run it, you get an error because there's no semicolon. You see that?
Yes.
You have to bring the semicolon at the end of every C++ line. It's important. So you see, it's working when the semicolon comes. The moment you remove the semicolon, it doesn't work. So please remember that. Okay? Now, you can also print numbers and characters. So this is an example of number. Here we have an example of what? A decimal number. In programming, we call decimal numbers what? Floating point numbers. Okay, so this is a double precision floating point number. Okay, and this is also a character. This is a character. Remember, we said characters, you use what? Single quotes, whilst for strings, you use what? Double quotes. Okay, so let me show you an example. So in our C++, let's say we want to print 12 plus 9. Um, 34.09, and then if we say true is an example of what? Boolean data type. Remember? Yes. Thank you very much. The gentleman remembers that. Okay. So if we run it, C++. Okay. I forgot to. Yeah. Sorry. Let's not do operations yet. I forgot that it will not work that way. Oh, okay. I forgot to, sorry. So the moment you don't bring the using namespace, this thing is gonna be a headache typing all of that. So let me just use namespace, okay? It's easier to use the namespace and then get everything done than to not use the namespace, okay? Let me remove them. And then we can just run the code and enjoy. Okay? Okay, so you see everything is printed nicely. You see that? So number one is
Yes.
12. You can see 12 is an integer. Number two is 34.09. See 34.09 is a floating point number. Okay. Number three is a Boolean, true. In C++, Boolean behaves a little different when we store them. Okay. True will be stored as a 1 and false will be stored as a 0. Okay. So if I do C out false, sorry. If I do C out false, notice that the true is appearing as a 1 over here, and then the false is appearing as a 0 over here. You see that? That's what C++ does a little bit differently from most programming languages. It saves or it stores. I'll show you how to change this thing in the future. But for now, let me just show you that you can print a true and a false, a decimal, a number, a character, any of these things directly from C++. Okay? Are we okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yes, Mr. FMK. Please make it quick.
Okay, sir, please, I realize that you brought end line. Why do you bring end line over there?
Oh, I'm coming to that. I didn't want everything to be squeezed against each other. So I'm coming to that. Okay. If I remove the end line, I can remove the end line and show you the results. You are not going to like it though, but I'll show you. Okay. So if I remove it, notice this. Do you see that everything is together?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So when you remove it, everything is mashed together. Okay. So it doesn't look nice. Okay, it doesn't look nice. You don't see the 12. You don't see the 34.09. You don't see the true or the false or the P. Everything is together. And maybe that's not what you want. Okay. Maybe that's not what you are hoping to achieve. Okay. So when we bring the end line, it causes the thing to separate. Okay. Do you understand it now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But I have it in my slide, so I'll show you what it means. Okay. Now, if you don't want everything to mash together, you can use the escape sequence. It's called an escape sequence. This characters /n. Okay, it's called an escape sequence to push the output so that the output appears on a new line. Okay, so let me show you what I mean. So for example, we don't want this thing to appear like this, mashed up together like this. You can do another, what do you call it? Less than, and then put the escape sequence. Please make sure to put it inside double quotes, okay? /n. Once you do this one and you run it, notice what's going to happen. The place where you put the escape sequence just after the 12, notice that the rest of the printing has come to the new line. Do you see that?
Yes.
So the /n pushes the rest back or pushes the rest to another line or a new line. And you can add as many of it as you want, okay? So if I add a second one, it will mean it will create an empty space. So you see between the 12 and the 3.409, there's an empty space or an empty line in between them because I have two. One to push everything away and the second one to push everything to another line. Are we good?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So no, don't worry, take your time and then look at this. Work it through. Like I said, now that I've shown you how to use your phone to run the C++, when you go home, run everything one by one and check it for yourself. You see that it's very, very, very easy and convenient. Okay. So this is how to achieve a new line. You can use the end line, or you can use the end line, or you can use the new line character or the escape sequence, okay? So we have several of the escape sequence available. We have the, let me increase this thing a little bit. One moment, okay? Okay. I think 20 is okay. Okay. So you note that we have /n for new line, for creating new lines. We have /t for pushing that. You know, a tab is 4 spaces, okay? So tab is, oh, Dorcas, what's the matter? Hello? Okay, Dorcas is not ready. And then we have /b for backspace, /r for return to cursor position. Then if you want to escape the /, you use the backslash. Okay, sorry, if you want to escape the backslash, you use the backslash to escape the backslash. I'll show you what it means. For example, if I want to see the \n over here, I can use one backslash to escape the backslash. Okay, so 2 backslashes means I'll see one of the backslashes. The first one will be used to escape the second one. Okay, because the backslash is a key, it's a symbol in C++. Okay, now for example, if I have double quotes and I want to see the how do you call it, the single quote /t, single quote /t, then I have to escape the single quote by using a backslash quote /t quote double quote. So what it will mean is that in actual fact, this first quote is to escape the single quote, okay? Then this backslash is to escape this backslash, okay? And then this backslash is to escape the, how do you call it? Is to escape the single quote over here, okay? So in the end, you see quote /t quote. Okay, we used a slash to escape each of the special characters. The reason why you need to escape them is that they are used by the compiler. So if you don't want the compiler to run them as how they are used, you must escape them. That's why we say escape sequence, okay? If you don't want the compiler to run it the way it's appearing in the code, but to run it by simply printing it, then you have to escape it. Let me do an example just to show you, okay? Okay, so for example, if I want to print a sentence, the boy's mother owes us bread, okay? So notice that if I want to see the boy, the sentence, the boy's mother owes us bread, right? If I simply have this sentence and I try to print this sentence the way it's appearing, okay? If you simply have this sentence and you try to print it, you would encounter some difficulty, okay? Oh, it escaped, oh really? But basically you need to escape that quotes. Okay, this one doesn't have, most of your compilers will produce an error. Okay, but the way to prevent that error is to use the backslash in front of the single quotes. Okay, so that you can see the boy's mother. Notice that the quote S, okay, the quote over there, if you want to see it, you have to escape it. Okay, yeah. Is it understood? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Online?
Yes, sir.
Sir, please, if you want to print a character and use the escape line, how do you do that one? Since
a character.
the
You don't need to escape any character. You don't need to escape a character. A character there, you just use single quotes and then one character and then you print it. Or if you are printing a special character, okay, that's where the problem is. That's what we are trying to resolve. For example, you are trying to print backslash. If you try and print backslash, it will not work because backslash is used by the compiler. So in order to prevent the compiler from giving you this error, plenty confusing error, that's why we tell you to escape it. That's all. That's all. It's very simple. Characters which are used by the compiler, if you want to print them raw, you have to escape them. That's all. That's basically what we mean.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes, Mr. Otabel. Mr. Otabel, we just have 5 minutes, so please ask your question.
Good morning. Sir, please, is it possible to enter data inside the int main brackets?
Inside the what?
The int main brackets, the two brackets over there. Can we enter?
Yes, there's a special type of value we are going to enter, but not now. Okay, we are now learning the basics. So bring your mind to where we are writing the code for now. Okay.
All right.
Okay, thank you. Okay, last thing. I know I'm overwhelming you, but last thing for printing, last thing is the end line. Okay. So a gentleman was asking me, say, where from the end line? So end line is a special keyword. Okay. If you don't want to use the... Oh, whose microphone is on? Please don't do that. I love C++ programming a lot. Okay. So if I have this sentence, see out, help me learn C++. Okay. If I have this sentence, these two sentences, and I try to, I try to print them. Oh, turn off your microphone. Okay. Mute yourself. Okay. So if I have these two sentences and I try to run them, notice that even though they are supposed to be two sentences, they are all appearing on one line and there's no space between them. We learned earlier that you can use \n, the escape sequence, to push one away from the other. You see that? By putting \n in the middle of the two of them, you can see that we have pushed it away, right? Another way you can accomplish the same thing is to use the end line. So you use the end line keyword. When you use the end line keyword at the end, what it does is that it accomplishes something similar. Okay? Do you see that same thing without the \n? Oh, mute yourself, my dear friend. Hello, mute yourself. Baba Muhammad, mute yourself. So do you see how it's working? The end line is used to push the next sentence to the new line. You can also use the end line if you don't want to use the backslash n. Okay? Okay, I put in some examples over here, the end line. So what we'll see over here is that we'll have 3 sentences on 3 different lines. If you remove the end line, we'll have 3 sentences on 1 line. Okay? Hello?
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
We'll end our class over here. I will not add any further, but I'll add some small activity in the LMS latest by Monday. So please go and check out the slide and the activity in the LMS latest by Monday. Is it Mr. or Miss Johnson? Someone has his or her hand up.
This is a mail, sir.
Okay, please talk.
Please, how will you be able to detect errors in writing the code before execution?
Okay. Unless you are using an IDE, which the IDE will underline the errors, just like how Microsoft Office Word will underline wrongly spelled sentences. Okay, so to underline the errors to tell you that there's an error before you even click on run to run it. Okay. Or what can also happen is that if you are using Visual Studio Code, okay, Visual Studio Code, we have plugins. My own has several plugins. In fact, I even have an AI plugin and different things. Okay, so you can have different plugins which can help you detect errors. But aside that, you will not see the error until you run the code and notice that there's an error in the code. We'll talk about error, debugging, types of error, and those things. Mr. Vincent, stop writing on our slide. Okay, so we'll talk about those things a little bit maybe later on. Okay, today our class needs to come to an end so that you can go to another class. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I'm sure next week we'll make time for more questions, and then I hope you can go through and then understand the basics and get everything installed or working before our next class. Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Hey, God help us. This man can talk fast. Hey. No, you're not even breaking down.
No, it's you, bro. Oh, God day.